Imagine being locked away, chained, facing an uncertain future. What would you write? Despair? Final words? The Apostle Paul, from a Roman prison, wrote a letter so filled with joy, he mentioned it 16 times in just 4 short chapters. This wasn't naive optimism. This was a man writing to the Philippians, a church with a wild origin story. It started with Lydia, a powerful businesswoman, the first European convert. Then, a slave girl freed from a demon. Her angry owners had Paul and Silas beaten and thrown into prison. At midnight, an earthquake ripped the prison open, chains fell off. The terrified jailer, about to end his life, was stopped by Paul. That very night, the jailer and his entire family were baptized. Years later, Paul's in chains again, this time in Rome, literally shackled to Caesar's elite Praetorian Guard. But he saw it differently. Every shift change, a new guard was chained to Paul, forced to listen to the gospel. His imprisonment wasn't an obstacle, it was a delivery system for the most powerful message to the most powerful military. Paul then taught them the ultimate lesson: Jesus, who was God, emptied himself to become a humble slave, dying the most shameful death on a cross. But God exalted him, giving him a name above every name, so that every knee will bow and every tongue confess Jesus is Lord. That famous verse, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me." Paul wasn't talking about winning competitions. He meant, I've learned to be content in every situation, hungry or full, free or chained, because Christ infuses strength into me to endure. This church even had powerful women leaders like Euodia and Syntyche, whom Paul urged to unite. His joy, his chara, came from charis, grace. Not circumstances. Paul, guarded by a Roman soldier, knew God's peace. Frurio, a military term meaning to guard, was standing sentinel over his heart and mind. From a prison cell, facing death, Paul penned words of grace, joy, and peace that outlasted the very empire that chained him. It's about enduring anything: hunger, abundance, freedom, chains, because Christ continually pours power into you. Joy isn't naive optimism. It's a settled confidence, born from grace. Knowing God finishes what he starts. Knowing that whether you live or die, you're with Christ. The secret isn't a technique, it's a person. Paul, chained to a Roman guard, says God's peace will guard your heart and mind. The prisoner has a guard, but the prisoner also has a greater guard. From a prison cell, Paul wrote words of grace and joy that outlasted the very empire that chained him. Find your joy in him.